Hey guys, I hope everything's going well. I'm feeling good. I'm in a good mood. And I got a nice 6-pack to celebrate it. And we don't use those little bottle openers, we go hard. We use robots. So, we got this, it's funny, I'm drinking Red Hook IPA, which is funny because with Red Hook, the first time I ever had Red Hook beer, the normal one in the red bottle, was on draft at a venue going to a Disco Biscuits concert. And then ever since then, after that point for a while, years ago, it was always Red Hook. I'd always find Red Hook again. I would never think about buying it, and I'd always end up finding it at venues when I was going to see bands play. So it was so funny because I always associate with like going to shows. It always makes me think of that. Red Stripe kind of makes me do too, but I buy Red Stripe more, but not Red Hook as much. But it's a good beer. I like my IPAs now these days too. This is number 4, so I'm chilling, I'm relaxed, I'm in a good mood. It's working out well. My phone here. Alright, so also, it's just funny, guys. I didn't do this, but I was thinking about it. I really should have, and I shouldn't be telling you because I can't do it now. But I thought it'd be really funny to get. I was almost going to just buy like really crappy beer, like Coors, just to make this video, so that I can just like open up the video with like a Coors bottle and just do this whole like Super West, like West skit where it's just like, "Hello, guys. Well, it's time for another beer review. We got ourselves some Top the Rockies. It's a special brand of beer, and the mountains turn blue when it gets cold, and I'm very fascinated by that, so let's pour this in and let's try this baby out." Oh, I actually do have a glass. I didn't plan that, though, I swear. Why not do the glass? I do like bottles, though, but glass are good, too. I had to drink that much because I was overflowing. Okay, anyway. You guys aren't here to listen to that, right? I did 2 different sets of vinyls. Earlier this week and this past weekend, I did this one shopping where I went to two different record stores and got some stuff. 2 records from Lunchbox Records, independent store, and a few at Manifest. And today, now that I have a nice bunch, I'm going to do this video. I went to a Goodwill that's around my area near my home that doesn't always have much, but then had a nice, big, huge bunch today, and I found some to pull out of the collection. So, it wasn't like Zach's video where I understand where he's coming from, where some stuff you look through all this crap and you're like, what, But there's some okay, cool stuff in here. So I'm going to get this going. I'm going to do a little DJing for you. Now, the Goodwill, I'm going to separate these two. I'll let you know when. The first set is the Goodwill. I only spun these very briefly. So, this is Dave Edmonds, Information. I'm almost positive I've seen this record somewhere, either in a VC video or maybe just I've seen it in another store. This sounds alright. I mean, like I said, I haven't given these any really full listen, so I'm not going to say much in critiques, but just from the, I'll just let you judge. It sounds like 80s. I think it is the 80s. '83. I don't know much about Dave Edmonds. But hey man, if I was a guitarist, I'd be down with this type of cover. We got some different stuff on here. They all sound pretty similar when I spun past it. Okay, so what do we got there? That's Dave Edmonds, Information. Now, I never saw this girl before. Looks like something my mother would know, but she didn't know her. This is a Cleo Lane. She's from England. This is her live at Carnegie Hall, and this was on October 17th, 1973. So let me pop it in first, and then I'll show you. It's on RCA. I actually really like the introduction. She does some stuff on her own, a cappella, and then goes to a song.
Good evening, everybody. We'd like to introduce you to Miss Cleo Lane.
The write-up's really nice in the back. Good voice.
I know where I'm going, and I know who's going with me.
And there's an interesting thing about her that I had on my computer here.
I know who I love, the devil knows who I'll marry.
And popular classical. She's the only female performer to have won Grammys. No, not one of them. Have Grammy nominations for jazz. Sorry. Jazz, popular, and classical. It's the only female singer to have been nominated for all 3 different categories. So that's something. And then watch how she goes into her stuff.
Music keeps playing inside my head, over and over and over again, my friend. There's no end to the music.
I think she did one of the songs on here is a Carole King cover, but I'm not sure which one it was. I thought this cover looked really interesting. It's 80s stuff, which I didn't expect it to be from the cover, but it is. It's on a label I never heard of before, too. Called Applause Records with a Z. Applause. Sounds like something you'd hear like Pretty in Pink. Rick Bowles, that's how I'm going to say it. B-O-W-L-E-S. No Man's Land. Wait for it. I think the cover is sweet as hell, though. The girl chilling by the ponds. But actually, she has her feet in the water. Trees. Sick cover, Mr. Rick Bowles. I'm a fan. Produced by Robert Byrne. Obviously, doesn't sound like the biggest keeper, but it's also on a label you never knew of, so that stuff's always fun to have something just so you can say, you know, you had something different like that. Applause. And I think, like I said, I mean, it's not bad, but it's 80s, and the cover's sweet. Now, this one was very scratchy and poppy, but because of what it is and how it sounded, I thought it was really cool to keep. So, I can get past this stuff. This is Hi-Fi in an Oriental Garden. And what's really cool about it is that on the back here there's a map, and it has song titles with a map in the middle, side 1, side 2 with the map, and it has lines that are pointing from the different parts of Asia to the actual songs, so that you actually can know what country. So it's not just one Asian country; it's multiple. An Oriental Garden, and it has the the translation in the Asian symbols, alphabet, and it links it from the country in the map to what song it is. I just love this type of stuff. I think it sounds sick. Like this one is The Pearls of Mindanao. This is a traditional song from the Philippines. Are you really not down with this? Because that's crazy. I think there's such an awesome mystique about Asian music. I freaking love it. So I thought this was a really cool find, actually. Alright, these are the last, that was one of the first I was excited about. This is the other two I'm really excited about. This is something I actually could play the whole time in the background that I was considering, but I wanted you guys to hear some stuff, but this is just sick. This is a live recording. I never heard of this man before, but I have a feeling that other people are going to know who he is who are into their jazz. This is Ahmed Jamal. Such a great write-up on the back of this too. But it says Ahmed Jamal on the front, but it's actually the Ahmed Jamal Trio Volume 4. I listened to the first couple tracks, just really good jazz music. Really good. He's the piano player, some interesting stuff on here. I'm not saying Ahmad's fans go through all this sloppy analyzing, they just know they like him, and they're mostly young people, which is good, because jazz and its origins are for and from young people. Let's see. Today, we of the slightly avant-garde are told to hate Elvis Presley. But once I sat in a bar here in Washington to sit and read and juice a little by myself. I hadn't shaved, that was it. So I knew I wouldn't run into anyone I knew there, or rather anyone who knew me. These little hideaways exact their penalties via jukebox. I found myself tapping my feet to the sinister beat. This guy was singing while I was trying to read, and I liked his singing, but I didn't know who it was. So I looked over at the panel in the jukebox, and it was old you-know-who, Elvis. It's just talking about this comparison to people and how they're taught to feel about certain people. Anyway, this guy's sweet. This is really, really good. Please, if you know your jazz, tell me more about Ahmed Jamal. Check it out. I know that I don't have enough of a jazz ear to really know like the difference between when someone's playing that type of music and what makes it him and what makes it someone else, but this Ahmed Jamal just really rubbed me the right way. So now this is very interesting. This is like this, like, it doesn't look like what it is. It looks like it'd be a classical cover, and it's ended up actually being this like sort of psychedelic poppiness. There's just something I knew was going to be interesting. It's an album called The Ark by Chad Stewart and Jeremy Clyde. This is really cool stuff. This is really interesting. It's very, it's just it's so obscure in my opinion.
I shall call him Mr. X. Such a nice man.
I knew it was going to be weird because I bought it because the titles are so strange. It's like titles like The Emancipation of Mr. X, Sunstroke, Painted Dayglow Smile, Transatlantic Trauma, Sidewalk Requiem, Los Angeles, June 5th and 6th. See? Check this out. I'm going to take a drink.
He didn't even take his hat or draw his pen. Very far, for as he reached the car, he saw the park beyond, and little boats upon a pond, and he wanted just to play. So, like a man possessed, he walked to the pond and there undressed, gambled in the sun, and he shrieked all the while, I'm having fun for the first time in my life. Such a nice man.
So I thought this was really cool. I feel like it's really unique, and The cover is cool. It's like a bunch of random characters all dressed up as like kings and people from the army or something, and they're all placed in like this type of, I don't know, it's like a type of, looks like a bowl, and it's like caught in a tree with a flag. It's just so strange to me. I know I showed it a million times. Alright. So that's the Goodwill stuff. Alright, let's move to the other stuff I want to show. Okay, this is the things I've had for a week or so. I decided to get this because of Marty's video, and then there was Zach's response to it. This is from the Flying Fish label. This is The Fields of November, Norman Blake. I haven't given it a full listen, and I'll be honest with you, I think it's really, I feel like there's a cool mystique about it from the Flying Fish label and the cover and all the records this guy has out, but I just don't know if it's going to rub me the right way because it's just such a hard, different style for me to get into. So please, Marty or Zeke, if you actually know this particular album, like I know Marty had it, tell me what to look for in it. Tell me what to listen to. What is it that you enjoy about The Fields of November from Norman Blake? Just so I can look for it. The lyrics are on the back. I really gotta sit down and read the lyrics with it. That's the way I do.
Well, it wasn't what you thought, just some dreams, Lord, you know, when you left your...
Alrighty. This is awesome. This is, I think it's my first official bootleg. Well, I don't know if it's considered a bootleg or not. They have it online on Discogs and everything, but it's not an album. It's a live. There's a really great producer who's also become a really, really good rapper, and he's from Detroit, and he has these very great aesthetics that can sort of tie themselves back to Jay Dilla's sound in some ways, and you know, he just reps Detroit real hard. And his name is Black Milk. He's done a couple of great albums. He's done Tronic. He did another one a couple of years ago called Album of the Year. He put out a new one just this past year that's a split EP that he does all the beats, and there's a really sick rapper, Danny Brown, does the rapping. And this is from a record label that they call Third Man Live. It's recorded live to tape in Nashville, Tennessee. So it's a live performance that he did, I guess, on some type of station. And I thought it'd be really great to have. And it wasn't that expensive. It wasn't that expensive. It was only like 10 or 11 bucks. So I decided to go with that. Let's give the drummer some. If you don't know him, check out the song Give the Drummer Some. He's very big on drums. Like, he can get rocking on drums. It's not normal hip-hop at times. Listen to those drums. Give the drum some. Give the drum, on the drum. Make the people in the back, make the people go dumb. That's a really great song with a sick violin part. But that's the song with the violin is actually called Black and Brown. It's him and Danny Brown on the track. I'd highly recommend Black Milk. He's just a very, very eclectic type of hip-hop artist, and that's what I love about him. I told Mary to text me instead of calling to making that vinyl update. That's what that was. Alright, this was... You guys might know this. Tell me if you know this when you hear it. I think this might be something that a lot more people are familiar with than me. This was such a great buy for the price.
This is a story about the lady that raised me.
This is sick. This is my first time ever listening to Rare Earth. It's called, this is their album Ma, M-A. Very attractive cover. It's funny, the back looks like it's a rock, like it's a heavy metal band. It's like a pressed up thing too, you can feel it. I have a feeling, I think I read this is like the go-to album of Rare Earth, so if it is, I'm glad I got this. I paid $1 for this. This is used for $1. This whole first side is just that one song, Ma. And then jamming out like crazy hell. And the second side is just great. All the songs are sick. This is my style. I'm down with this really a lot. Just jam out. I freaking love it. And wow, I mean, like I didn't realize there was that Rare Earth label that is theirs because they're like the band that's signed and it's like the Motown label that's called Rare Earth. What a sick label. I think it's just the Rare Earth label for the record label, but I thought it was just like their thing, you know? Oh, you guys probably know this one. Here's my jam. My boy Shy Stimuli sampled this in a sick song. Knocks me off my feet.
I see us in the park, strolling the summer day.
Songs in the Key of Life. You guys know that I'm a big Stevie fan. I know Stevie Wonder records. I know some better than others. Music in My Mind, Higher Than July. Those are two of my favorites actually. I knew some songs like the singles, but I never spent the time just because of the actual like double album, listening to everything in its complete entirety of this album on my computer. Love the gatefold. It's the collector's item version. It doesn't come with the lyric booklet or the 7-inch that I've seen before in other stores. But that's cool. I paid $2 for this. I do like my inner visions though, so we'll see. But I know that a lot of people, this is a great classic album of his, so I'm glad. I only paid $2 for this bad boy. That's good stuff. I'm telling you, honestly, I think I'm popping this one in almost for the first time. I think I might have played it once, but I don't remember playing it too much. I just haven't gotten into it because I was really continuing to listen to Melt. But this is Peter Gabriel's Security. I heard that it's more like straight electronic based, and man, I mean, Melt's a great album, man. Melt is a great album. Sorry to get off the topic of the album I'm showing, but that song Start, Melt, is great. so I gotta spend time on this. It's just his 4th album release. It was cheaper, I think, than, actually it wasn't just cheaper, I think this was in better shape than the one with the scratch was. So I decided to get this one. How does this rank with other Peter Gabriel albums? Tell me. I do love that it has Shock the Monkey, though. Shock the Monkey's sick. Cold Chamber did a sick cover of Shock the Monkey with Ozzy Osbourne on it. I haven't gotten to this one yet either, but I'm excited. You guys remember my last actual vinyl video with Vinyl Finds. My favorite record that I got in that batch was the Marion Williams album, the live one at the church, called Blessed Assurance. I got another one, and I think she's well known for this one, so that's why I picked this one up. It's Marion Williams, The New Message, on Atlantic. Conducted by William Fisher. She's got a serious, real, like, gold tooth in her mouth on her top teeth with a star in it. She was doing that shit back in the 69. She's from 69. Like, she's the original gangster. Gangster for God is what's sick. She's insane. You guys should all check out Marion Williams. That Blessed Assurance album, that live one, sold me. Alright, this was a great find. I picked this up for $1. This is on IRS label, and I feel like a lot of things that come across the IRS aren't as good as I want them to be. The sides are, they don't say 1 and 2, they say yin and yang. This is a band called Christmas. And maybe Rob from Boston knows them. I always find these bands from Boston. It's crazy. Really great pop rock. And it's Christmas, and the album is called Ultra Prophets of the Psychic Revolution. Psychic. Like kick in the foot. What a crazy looking cover, right? Promotional copy. This song called Stupid Kids is a great opener. I love this record right now. It kind of reminds me of that song on the Clueless soundtrack. We're the kids in America, woo! Drum beat. Watch how it changes up. Great. It's a fun band, man. It's called Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon sees you. This is, oh, I'll show this actually.